Becoming a Navy SEAL is one of the toughest branches in the military to become a part of. It takes top athletes, mentally and physically, to be at their peak. It is credited with having some of the toughest training and the most strict standards in order to be accepted into it. So when 300-pound David Goggins called to be a Navy SEAL, he was laughed at. Current day David Goggins is an example of overcoming adversity and a true example of perseverance. Many people look up to him based off of his life experiences, and through these life experiences, he has been dubbed and called the toughest man alive. Goggins believes that toughness comes through adversity, and he has faced plenty of adversity through his life. At a young age, he grew up in poverty. His family didn't have very much money, and because of this, he didn't have the nicest clothes, and he often found it difficult to make friends. On top of this, he was abused by his father. In a 2018 interview with Vikas Shaw, he states, "Getting beat up like that as a kid, often for no reason at all, beats the courage and confidence out of you, replacing it with insecurity and issues you need to overcome." So because of he credits his rough past with his unsuccessful adult years, and a lot of his insecurity from his childhood carried with him as he grew up. In high school, he still struggled making friends. He said he dealt with a lot of racism because he grew up in a primarily white town in Indiana. After high school, he enrolled in the Air Force, and he was in the Air Force for about a year and a half before he had to be discharged because he couldn't pass any of the water test or any of the underwater stuff because he had a great fear of water. So after he left the Air Force, he says he went from 170 pounds to 300 pounds in a year and a half. And he worked as an exterminator, which he claims that he hated. So he didn't like his life. He was out of shape. He wasn't satisfied with where his life was going. And it all built up to one day after work. He was waiting for his shower to warm up, and he turned on the TV, and a Navy SEAL documentary flashed across the screen. And for whatever reason, it just changed him. He says in a 2019 CNBC interview, Goggins explains he didn't want to sit back and continually watch these shows about great people doing amazing things. He wanted that feeling in his head that he believed that they had of true accomplishment. He states, I got sick and tired of being haunted by being a nobody. So at the age of 24, he decided he was going to become a SEAL. He was first laughed at. Nobody would give him a chance. He struggled to get in recruiting offices because he was overweight. They didn't see a great work ethic in him. Finally, one recruiter gave him a chance, but he had to lose 106 pounds in a month and a half in order to make basic training. And he did it. But unfortunately, he dropped out of basic training because of cardiovascular problems that he sustained during his weight drop. About 3 or 4 months later, he rejoined basic training. He got through basic training, and he decided to become a SEAL, or he planned to become a SEAL. One of the most famous trainings from SEALs is called Hell Week. Lee Obringer, for Science Writer, explains that Hell Week is when students train for 5 days and 5 nights with a maximum of 4 hours of sleep. No other branch of the military is this intense. About 1 in 10 people make it through this training, so that means about 90% don't pass. He went through Hell Week 3 times. He had to drop out the first 2 times due to his heart problem again, and then he broke his femur. But the 3rd time he made it through. and he served as a SEAL for a while, based off of pure resilience, pretty much. And the lessons he learned in the SEAL team, he has applied in his life after the service. A biography by People Pill listed his accomplishments, and some of them include 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours, which is a world record. He has completed 60 ultra marathon races, including a race called the Badwater 135, which is 135 miles through Death Valley, California, which can reach temperatures of up to like 126 degrees. And he's also a best-selling author of the book Can't Hurt Me. Because of all the obstacles and achievements that he's gotten, or that he's had because of the obstacles, he's become an inspiration for many people, and a lot of people subscribe to his principles of living. He believes that in order to build resilience, you need to have real suffering. He explains in his book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, that you can't build resilience and a work ethic through reading words. You have to actually go out and make yourself suffer. You have to do hard things and get through them. He also believes in realistic self-talk. He's anti-positive self-talk. In a 2019 Joe Rogan interview, he claims that he was often bullied as a kid, and he kind of took this as bullying. His quote is, kids would call me fat or stupid, and I would get angry and upset with them, but maybe that's because I was actually fat and stupid. And through all this realistic self-talk and these tools to overcome challenges, he's become very popular. A lot of people subscribe to the ideas that are presented in his book and his different podcasts. He's become an inspiration for many and motivates many to overcome challenges and adversity in their own life, including a man by the name of Jesse Itzer, who's the CEO of many different companies. He's a true example of resilience and overcoming obstacles. And through his perseverance, he is deserving of the title Toughest Man Alive. I don't know if you can see those.